So please use the timestamps because I'm going to be showing you a time lapse of essentially how I made it. And just seeing the initial guy on screen, you should be able to track where I got it from in World of Horror, because this is sometimes when I'm feeling particularly lazy how I design and make event pictures among other assets. And yeah, that's all I really need to say. So literally 3 different events if you even use like pause and resume just to see how I made the events and which events I pulled them from. And then I essentially just use World of Horror design. There's more I could add to this, and I will add, because I noticed earlier that in the event I said that the scientist was sweating. He's not sweating at the moment. So I don't think I really even did anything perm worthy yet, but we'll hit quick play and just move forward. So for timestamp's sake, as we get into Herald Scars, all per Miku random item stats run. Yeah, I showed you at the very beginning, basically a time lapse of what I worked on for the moment, and you'll see it in the event, unless I for some reason die. But we're gonna take template first, so that shouldn't happen. Knowledge, second mystery, strength, dexterity, second encounter, maybe Takshi-san. Take a breath, Jordan, and move on. I know I only remember Takshi-san being there, and I think a strength check. Because I was also trying to focus on what, in my mind, what I wanted to mention. But as you put on the skeleton vomit skull, the shirt, and move on, I see scissors, metamorphosis, kana, painting, and template. You know what? We'll take kana first, because I might as well just see what it feels like. I mean, I should already kind of be able to tell, but how the boss fight in template will be, because template is a forced boss fight. So yeah, but anywho. Again, gonna slowly work through this. I meant to always come back to this, but because I was making character and custom content for PERM, then template is also part of this PERM series, so this series will end on the completion of template, but I think at the time of this video, when this video releases, I have also not released the PERM version of the character I just released, where she should be. And the reason for that is because I made a mistake uploading the files, and so I need to figure out if all the files I have in place are actually what they should be. Because sometimes, and I've seen, again, I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but I'll mention it now, just in case I didn't. Some people have uploaded their files, and in the zip files or the character's asset files, they've left files that probably shouldn't be there, I guess. But I've done the same thing as well when I start packaging up my zip files for characters or custom content. Yeah, I just end up finding out that there are files in there. The reason why is that some of the time it's linked events or assets that are not used, but other times it is kind of just mistakes. Like maybe you put a draft of something in a folder, or a character folder or an event folder, and it shouldn't be there. But for the most part, that shouldn't happen. You should always be double checking. This is like standard deployment method, but again, I've made the mistake before. Also, our reason is very, very in pain right now, so let's hope we survive long enough to actually get through. Now, I just realized, yeah, this is kana, so we're gonna take 3 reason damage here, but this doesn't kill you. And we're on sudden death, so yeah, off we go. I swear you used to be able to look at your items and make use of them here. I guess you can't anymore? I feel like you used to be able to do that. Just some small trivia, if that's even true. But anywho. Yeah, we'll get into template here because, again, scars on top of kana means we're taking a lot less damage. I think a lot, I was going to say nearly every enemy. I think a lot of enemies, okay, no bath loss. A lot of enemies end up doing -1 damage with kana scars or 2 sources of damage mitigation. That's a lot, basically. That's a lot of damage mitigation to have. Now, scars isn't really helping my max stamina, max reason for event's sake, but if we live long enough to tell the tale of this event that I've made CG for, yeah, there's not really much else to say. You know what? I should actually trade Doom here, but I'm still going to trade Stamina, because we will hit 21% Doom, which is our threshold for Miku's Mayhem. Also, I know that downtown is max threat level. Normally, I reduce that with the police station, but because we want to force the Mayhem proc for stats, yeah, not really much else to say. Nice luck check, but hey, par for the course. And now we put the police patrols in downtown. In the downtown area. Native English speaker, by the way, who also writes stuff offhand, so yeah. But again, this is this is the first draft of the CGI I want. Usually I do like 2 or 3 and then finalize what I have. It's not always the best either, so shrug. Also, you'll notice here, not a little pet peeve, but I tried to see what this looked like on, because again, normally you're making this on 1, so if the image looks fuzzier, it's because I lowered the resolution of World of Horror because I went to 1x scale. I wanted to put this button like this, see if it looks right in a certain perspective. Not really. I should really add a crease here to make it look like the researcher's coat is a bit more shifted here and there. In fact, there needs to be a lot more detail everywhere, but we'll just stay here for the moment. Also, I forgot to add the comma here, but I think there is a problem with the variable when I was trying to call it. So I'll look into that again. So off we go. But the other thing to reach back on, because I haven't playtested template in a while, is how this boss fight feels with characters, basically. The meat cleaver is not the best weapon, but it will do for the moment. Also, all perk run into adrenaline, fast swimmer. I'm going absolutely insane. Anywho, do I want to fight this boss with 3 stamina 3 reason? No, I'm gonna actually rest once here. So off we go. Why did Doom cost 4? I thought it was supposed to be 3 Doom. Am I going crazy? No, guitar, because of the guitar. Anywho, we'll save Matsui-san here. Again, I have not made the thingamajiggy yet, so off we go. But 29 HP minus 1 all, again, scars plus Kana. But if we had 3 stamina 3 reason, you can basically do the math here. 2 free turns, I think we would have gotten out. What can I do in this last turn? So pretend I have 1 stamina 1 reason. What could I have done? I guess a big meat cleaver attack with a kick. 64%. Yeah, that would not have been good. We're still gonna do this thing. In fact, I'm gonna dodge. And let's see if we dodge. That's all I have to say. We do have a bottle of water and a lump of flesh, but we want to make use of the desperate struggle. We did dodge the attack, so hey, meat cleaver this slime. But anywho, off we go. Look at that bunny. So, yeah, for template, it's not supposed to be anything amazing. It's kind of on the same level as Haspin's Mini Mod Pack Mysteries. I'm going absolutely insane with my speech pronunciation at the moment. But, yeah, you get the point what I'm trying to say at this by now. It's not meant to be any extraordinary mystery, not like, I think, every other mystery, well, the only other 2 mysteries I've made are more in-depth than template. But template is supposed to be more a kind of introduction for those who, specifically for PERM mysteries, but just mysteries in general. I don't know, I thought I made a mystery before on this channel and kind of went through episodes. And if I didn't, let this be the official one, basically. Especially as a more recent example. Although I don't know how much code I've shown you. I think I've shown you a fair bit when I first started working on template. But anyway, really all this work I've put into the mystery called template so far is... What's what I want to say as I'm shifting my body in real life. But... yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Gosh dang it me. Anywho, moving on. But yeah, oh yeah, so what I was going to say is... basically, template really should not take me more than a week of focus time, but obviously, real life happens, so for any, anyone, I would assume your average time to make a mystery is anywhere from 3 weeks to a month. So, and that's really if you love World of Horror. If you're just doing on and off, maybe you do things for other games, maybe you're making your own games, maybe you have a life, then, yeah, you have other things that you want to do, and so mysteries in World of Horror might take you, again, 2 weeks to a month, basically. Actually, let me just correct myself as we go fight this boss, I just realized. But, yeah, around a month's time, that ain't bad. Mystery is a bit of work to put in. If it's a shorter mystery that, doesn't really go through much, at least gameplay-wise, then, yeah, I can see it taking a lot shorter of a time. But anywho, I want to brace, because I feel like this encounter did have a bug of sorts in it, but we're just going to take the risk and do this. And then we do Desperate Prep Strong. Again, Kana plus Scars is a pretty good deal, and I think that was actually... well, I can't actually tell, because I think both the Meat Horror and the boss of Template were both defeated in 3 turns. But anywho, let's fill this empty bottle up and move on with life. Again, Scars' main quote-unquote downside, I say quote-unquote because I'm quoting myself in a way, but Scars' main downside is that events will slap you harder because you're lower max stamina, max reason. That's not so much of a downside. It's just a downside if it so happens. Clap for Vals, by the way. yeah, not really much else to say. That's Scars. Otherwise, Scars is overall going to be better for you in the long run, especially on a non-Harbinger difficulty when you have more max stamina and max reason anyway. And really, objectively speaking, I feel, objectively speaking, is that if you're fighting a lot of bosses or enemies that deal 2 or more damage, you will get your worth off of Scars. Shrug. Now, that being said, on a non-Harbinger difficulty, you are taking less damage anyway, so you may not feel as much of its effect, but again, you will still feel it if you run into a lot of bosses during your run, or you're doing like a 5-boss run, which I don't know if have I done a 5-boss run recently in the past even like few months. I normally try to avoid that, don't I? Yeah, I mean, I've had mysteries where I could do 5 bosses in a row, but I normally choose not to do that because it's very, 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 very painful to try and do that. Also, I could have gone for a less riskier play here, but meh. You'll note that I'm holding on this level up. I'm holding on this level up so I can heal stamina, even though we have the lump of flesh. I shouldn't be scared of the lump of flesh, really, but random curse is a random curse. I think it's a random curse. Anywho, moving on. I'm pretty sure this last part of Scissors also doesn't kill you, so we're doing a kind of option select, although we're going to take a damage there, so we have to do a thing, but yeah, this shouldn't kill me, so I said clap for bows, right? Well, we're going to find out. So, clap, bow, 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 and off we go. But yeah, Template's boss isn't supposed to be anything too... Well, actually, it is a little... I would say it is a little much to go through, because, again, it can be 29 or 30 plus HP, depending on the choices made. Also, it was 3 claps instead of 3 bows. Nice... What is that? 12.5%? I love math. I also hate math. But I love math overall. So... Off we go. Wow, 1 stamina and 1 reason, man. That's something. But, anywho, into our last mystery, into painting, I just realized. So we actually don't get to rest at all. I was not paying attention to my mystery combination, by the way. Oh my goodness. Fight the feeling, I think, is, yeah, -1 doom, but an injury, and we have to risk it. Insponsive look is an injury? Question mark? Is that a bug? Anywho. Yeah, 2 stamina, 2 reason going into painting, even festival to some extent, even though you can rest in festival, can mean very, very terrible things happen to you. Also, I think we just have to go for attack strong, right? So, relative 75%, and off we go. Yeah, off we go. And then pray that we just don't lose 2 reason because we find a coat, Moriko's coat in the forest. So, destroy the shrine, hope that we pass. If we don't, we have to take the doom. We die if we fail the other one. And Scars. Like, really though, I am probably on the lower spectrum of players who pass or who fail. Or I'm on the top 5 players who fail the Scars backstory the most. For anyone who's played the Scars backstory more than like 10 or 20 times, like I've died, I think, the most. I'm like top 3 players who die on Scars because events just slap me in the face super, super hard. But I don't think there's any way out of this. So without further ado, yeah, not really much else to say. There is no other way out. But we tested what we wanted to test. I'm so close to level up. I could have saved myself. But yeah, not really much else I can say. I guess we'll just see you in the next video.